morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB, episode 5638. It's a Monday here, middle of the month of March. We're in a due month. For those of you who are with us on the plan, right? That means we should be executing on your plan if you're brand new or wanting a restart or kind of a step back and look at what's going on. Just look at your mission, look at your vision, get those in order and start working on some steps that we can work on, okay? And that means we should be working towards the things we're after. And in order to do that, obviously we have our morning ritual, which means you want to take some time for self-care. This morning we want to listen to CoachCast. You're here. This is the easy part, right? And then just listen, take some notes. We want to organize your planner, which is really important, and then get those 7 P's in order. They're magic. They really are. If you can get the right perspective, start setting those priorities, things will start happening for you. And then our last thing we always say is stop by the community for accountability questions and support. And you'll see in the new site, we're really making some changes to open communication. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I don't know what this is going to look like. I was talking to Haley and Ingve in a meeting the other day. I was talking to Karen. We're starting, we're getting our meetups. I need to get those more visual so people know where they're at. And I want to bring people together. We're 300 strong, and my goal is to bring 800 people together. And we're not marketing right now, just so you know, whether it's Inner Circle or Morning Coach. We're not really doing a lot out there because we're building, right? We're structuring things for you. But one of the things that I was talking to that group about and then talked to Karen about was there's a lot of people, in my 20 years that I've watched build businesses, whether it's Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, and these other businesses that I've seen. And typically the way it works is there's very aggressive sales tactics with phone rooms or events to sales. And in fact, when I was doing my $45,000 mastermind, we were going down that path. And I'm going to just be full disclosure here. It's the only way that I know how to do this. I didn't want to do that. It just didn't feel right. And we could build a multi-million-dollar business. Just like I told you about the deal that I had with the company to leave really basically and go build their systems. Same thing here. And I just want to tell you what's in my heart is I'm meeting people, in meetups. I stop by, people are sending me emails, and I legitimately want to see people successful. Okay. I care so much. It means so much to me. It drives me nuts that I see people not utilize a system or, we can't find a system for them or we can't get something that work. That hurts me. And I don't want to be like this upsell thing where we're just constantly trying to get people into stuff and get phone rooms. And I just don't want Morning Coach to be that. That's just not what I want it to be. What it already is I just want to grow it a little bit. And what I mean by this is there are so many amazing people here. And this is why I say stop by the community. I don't know, and I'm working with Karen. I met with Haley and Ingve the other day, and I'm going to meet with others, what I can do to show you how amazing the people are that are here. We got people that have been here 20 years. We got people that are just starting that are amazing. I just can't. And so why am I saying this is because I'm in a due month. And part of my due is to grow Morning Coach. And part of the reason I want to grow Morning Coach is I want to get more people like you here. But I don't want to do it in a way that it's like, hey, let's show you how to make money in 2 hours a week and you don't have to do this and this. It's only $20,000. I just don't want to be that. What I want to be is a legitimate, authentic group of people that are making a difference for each other, that are working on productivity, they're working on health with Dr. Paul. We have an eclectic group of amazing people here. So I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm just bringing it to you. We're going to do something to introduce people in the community, to talk about what they do, who they are, and what's going on. If you want to be shy and step back, that's fine. I'm totally cool with it. You can listen to CoachCast, do your planner. That's fine. But if you're somebody who wants to get out there and really, start engaging a little bit, we're going to do some cool stuff. And again, I don't know what looks like, but I just always bring you into things because that's what I believe in. I believe in communication, support, long-term connection, and creating viable, affordable solutions to people, that aren't the cheapest in the world, but they're obviously not even close to the most expensive, but really bringing people and providing the resources for them. And again, tactically, I've made a lot of mistakes. I could go follow Grant Cardone's 10X and just start marketing and slamming people into things and doing stuff. I just don't want that to be this way. And I hope you understand that. And that's why it's important you are a member and you're with me and you're hanging in there, because it means a lot to us. It really does. It's important. You can do the math. We do all right? The business is growing. It's getting there, but we need to get this thing going. And one of the ways that we can get it going is to really help individual people. I know people are suffering. I know people have good days, bad days. I want this to be such a supportive system that it really changes lives, as it has done. Like, the stories that I get are amazing, but we've got to all work together. And the thing is, like, certain people are doing different tools. Like, I'll use Jürgen and Karen example, just beautiful people. Jürgen's is so a left brain, amazing, genius, talented, engineering skills, one note, really awesome planning structure. And then I got Karen running a huge business, got great players doing stuff. Total opposite. Doesn't write anything down. Doesn't even want to plan. Wants to plan, trying to figure out, but it's like, does everything in her head. I think there's so many different people doing really cool things that if you take the things from maybe like this from Karen, this from Jürgen, Haley's writing, you take this, and you take things from me, then we build unique systems that are just amazing. And that's the power of this group. Okay. And sorry to sidebar today, but it means so much to me because I want you to know how I'm building this business, because I really feel that you're a part of it. I really believe it's a community-driven project. And I want you to know your feedback is important. And I'm not talking about the technical stuff. We're doing stuff with that. That's stuff that's being built. We're trying, we're obviously restricted to the programming and stuff. What I'm talking about is your actual life. Right? What are you doing? What are the things that turn you on? What makes you excited? What energy do you have? That's the feedback, right? It's like, oh man, that was so great, JB. Could you do more of that? Or wow, we could use this tool. I could really use a tool for this. And then we make it, and that way you have it and others can use it. That's what I want. And this summer, for those of you experts, as I bring ILD in, it's going to be amazing. And I've never brought it to MorningCoach. It's always been separate. Now I'm bringing it in. And also the longevity stuff that Dr. Paul is doing is really awesome. So I'm sorry to sidebar, but I just want you to know how I feel and why you're so important in this, because we're going to build this together. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and the energy is going to be great. And you just got to keep showing up. And if you need a tool or you need something, please ask or get in the community and ask so we can build things. Okay? All right, so let's get into content today. We're going to talk about building massive self-esteem. We're going to talk about finding that energy. And I got a great week planned. Listen to this topic. I've never done this before. Self-esteem, obviously we understand that. It's going to be fun today. We'll hit a couple points because here I am rambling. Tomorrow we're going to do the book study Quit. Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of that. We're going to talk about Quit as the book, the second book we're doing this month. And then Wednesday, please be here, because this one I think is most Morning Coach people, and that is the fear of becoming a narcissist and how this might be holding you back. Okay, that's it's just a topic I want to cover, because again, I wish I had some narcissistic tendencies. I mean, we all do, right? But man, some of these people just generate so much money because they just don't care. They're like a freight train. They just run over people. And the problem with that, and we're going to get into this Wednesday, is then what happens is we don't want to become that, so we self-sabotage. I'm going to talk about that Wednesday. It's going to be a really good day. Thursday, we're going to talk about analog versus digital planning. I was talking to Martin in Inner Circle. Martin went back to analog. I do analog a lot, and there's some things we're building analog-wise that are going to be awesome. And that means pen and paper, just so analog to me. Right? And then digital would be like the remarkable in those areas. I go back and forth. It's not one or the other, but we'll talk about it Thursday. Okay? Friday, we're going to talk about creating your own economy and keeping your expertise ahead of your market. That's a little bit of ILD-ish, but it's going to be good. Dr. Paul on Saturday. And then Sunday, life is beautiful. I'm going to talk about that. You're going to enjoy it. If you like Sundays and are slowing it down, we're going to have a really good day on that. So it's a great week this week. Again, focus on your morning ritual. Focus on your self-care. Come by and see us in the community if you need a tool, if you need support, so we can help you. And it's going to be a great week. But what is self-esteem? It's how we perceive and value ourselves. Very important concept. It's very important, because if we're not taking care of ourselves, then all of a sudden the perception of the value is not there. And like you guys saw a couple weeks ago, or last week, I ran my first sub 25K. What an accomplishment. So excited about that in the community. And it just adds value. When you win, it's like, wow, maybe I'm valuable, right? But there's a difference between self-confidence, belief in abilities, and versus self-esteem, which is belief in worth. But low self-esteem could hold you back because there's fear of failure, self-doubt, negative self-talk. There are some really, bad issues when you don't believe in yourself. Or Wednesday, as we talk about, you push yourself away because you don't want to be seen as a narcissist. Okay, so there's some core pillars of self-esteem that I want to go over. Number one is self-awareness and acceptance. Know your strengths and weaknesses and embrace your imperfections. Stop chasing validation. That's the biggest one. I mean, so many of us are out there just wanting validation. And we just got to stop chasing that, okay? Just know what you're good at, know what you're bad at, and let's figure out how we can get better. And again, remember strengths and weaknesses. We talked about this last week. We want to work 80% our strengths, 20% our weaknesses. But if we don't know what those are, how do we work on them, okay? The next pillar is self-talk and mindset. And this is big. How does your inner dialogue shape your confidence? And do you use affirmations, right? And self-compassion. So for me, a big one is learning dialogue. And on the golf course, it was really bad. And then running, I just have, I got hours. The other day when I finished my 5K, I ran a half marathon afterward. So I had 2 hours by myself after I ran a 5K. And it was just a mental discussion, right? So what are you saying to yourself? Are you a good coach to yourself? And then we have action and momentum. Confidence grows through action. I ran a sub 25K. I'm fired up now. I'm really going good. And then I just run 8:30 minutes in my half marathon. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And then small wins build massive self-esteem, and we want to focus on daily victories. That's why in the planner, we have a section for write down your wins. And if you're doing paper and pencil, write down your wins. Just have a place in your journal for this. And then we got to have boundaries and self-respect. You got to learn to say no, and you got to surround yourself with positive influences. This is where I see the breakdown for a lot of people. I changed my Facebook entirely. I just block and delete. I'm not looking for validation. I don't need that little like. Right? That little like, that dopamine hit, that's validation. 90% of people in the world, that's what they're seeking. That's why you can give somebody a title and you don't have to pay them. They're like, oh, I got a title. It's not going to help us in our big picture. A title's great, but what did you get compensation-wise, right? So learn to say no and surround yourself with positive people. So what are some practical ways to do this? Well, number one is a morning ritual. Start your day with gratitude, affirmations, and movement. That's exactly our morning ritual. We got to get our head right in the morning. I can't tell you how important that is. Then we need to challenge yourself. Step outside your comfort zone, even in small ways. I'm trying to run a 3 hour and 30 marathon. It's crazy, but that's what drives me, is to have those type of goals, have those type of things that I'm working on. And then you want to celebrate progress, track wins, big or small. I was shooting to break a sub 25K in the summer. I already did it. It's awesome. It's awesome. Feeling great. Become an elite, right? Physical care, exercise, diet, posture can affect self-esteem. I think this is one of the most important things. If you don't take care of yourself, I talk about this a lot. You don't have to be a supermodel, right? Just get a little bit better health-wise. Start feeling better. It really makes a big difference. And then helping others give back a boost of your own sense of self-worth. It's huge. We're starting to work on our adoption, our nonprofit for animals. We're able to go get a cat adopted a couple weeks ago. It was so awesome to drive there and pay for the adoption and then give some money for food and get them off to a start. It was just really awesome. When you can help others, it doesn't even have to be financially, but if you can help others, it can make a really big difference in your self-esteem. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 things you love about yourself in the morning. I'm not going to add this to the morning ritual, but I want you to write that down. I want you to take that time, and I really want you to write down 3 things you love about yourself. And if you can't write down 3 things that you love about yourself, we really need to step back and go, what's going on? I understand there can be dark days, but we got to start creating that self-love. Self-love is the first love. You can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. And we want to do that. We want to get people committed, and we want to commit you to understanding your worth is not negotiable. Reminds me of Zig Ziglar. He talked about buying the racehorse for the Kentucky Derby. And he used to say this, and you've heard me say this story a bunch, but it meant so much to me. It's like, what would you do? Would you train that horse? Would you give it the best food? Would you take care of it? Of course. You wouldn't pour alcohol down its system. You wouldn't, feed it a bunch of McDonald's hamburgers. It's $1 million racehorse. It would never be able to run the Kentucky Derby. How much more worth are you? And really start treating yourself that way. One of the big things I say here at Morning Coach is our leads or our prospects for Morning Coach. Our clients are gold, right? Our leads are gold, but our clients are diamonds. And I want you to understand you are a diamond. In my eyes, you're a diamond. To me, a diamond is worth a lot. I love that concept that you're a diamond. And I believe in you. And I want you to know I believe in you. But you got to find that self-esteem, self-worth. And again, it's not narcissistic. This is about believing and valuing yourself and having self-respect enough to say no and put those boundaries up so people don't take advantage. And really be able to build a plan based on the value that you truly are. Okay? So your homework today then, just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Just write down 3 things you love about yourself. Okay? Got it? All right. Sorry I kind of went over things today, but I wanted you to know where my heart is. We're getting ready to do some really cool things, and I want you to know I care. Like, I really care. I want to make sure we're all in this together. This is a community of people that are making a difference in each other's lives, and it's a very eclectic, amazing community. I'm just telling you that. Okay? So lots of love. Let's go get the week started, and I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to get into the book Quit. It's going to be a good one. But today, what are you doing? Self-esteem. Let's work on it. Write down 3 things you love about yourself today. All right. I love you. Go do it to it. And I'll see you tomorrow right here on morningcoach.com.